Hello, welcome back to Debate 8. It's Wednesday night, so it's debate night. What's up, everybody? How we doing this fine evening? For those of you who are, fans of Debate 8 and watch everything that we do, last night we had the Den of Nerds live and we did the best episode of WandaVision. And man, what a fun, exciting night that was. We have another fun, exciting episode planned for you tonight. This one's going to be a good one. I think we got a debate of Disney 3D animated movies. And I'm not doing it alone. I got Dempsey back here with me talking Disney stuff. My Disney aficionado, my Disney brother coming in talking movies with me. It's going to be a blast. Let me just right off the top, I just want to say this to everybody. If you are not already a member of the Discord, be sure to click the pinned message at the top of the chat. There's the link. Right now we have the poll open for our show that's going to happen in 2 weeks. We're going to be doing Westerns. Debate 8 is heading to the Old West, or maybe the New West too. I know it's not just really old movies. There's a lot of great new classic movies like 310 the Yuma. Go vote for 310 the Yuma. So go join the Discord if you're not already, because we're doing Westerns in 2 weeks. I got Webb coming back talking Westerns with me, but that's not why we're here tonight. We are here tonight to talk Disney movies, and we got to bring in the man, Dempsey Pillett, coming in talking Disney movies with me tonight. Dempsey, welcome back to Debate 8. It's been too long, my friend. It's been too long. How are you?
I am good. I'm so good, man. Thank you so much for having me back. I am so happy to be here. So happy to be talking with you about this topic. We kind of brainstormed a while back, talking about how cool it would be to talk about this, and now I'm here talking about this. So I'm just very excited. There are a lot of movies here that I'm very passionate about. There are a lot of movies here that I'm going to slaughter tonight because, you'll see. They'll see. But no, I'm really happy to be back for like the umpteenth time. Always a pleasure to be on the show. And yeah, man, whenever you're ready, let's do this thing.
Yeah, it's funny, too, because we originally planned this around Raya, but the people didn't even vote Raya into the show. So no worries. If you haven't seen Raya the Last Dragon yet, no worries. Not on the list tonight. You should go see it, though. I don't know if you're going to want to pay $30, but hey, eventually it's going to be free on Disney Plus. Well, free, relatively free. You still got to pay your money. But don't worry. That one is not going to be on the list tonight. Instead, we have 8 incredible, I think these are, you guys picked a great list of movies. So, well, okay. I'll say this. You guys picked 7 really good movies to talk about. When we get to the movie that I'm not very happy that's on this list, we'll talk about it. But here's our matchups for the first round. We got the number 1 seed, Moana, going up against the number 8 seed of Ralph Breaks the Internet. That should be a good one. Number 4 seed, Tangled, going up against the number 5 seed, Meet the Robinsons. I can't believe that one made the list. That's great. Next, we got the number 3 seed, Wreck-It Ralph, going up against the number 6 seed of Frozen. And then the last round will complete number 2 seed, Zootopia, going up against the number 7 seed of A Christmas Carol. All right, Dempsey, let's just jump right into it. Look, Moana, Ralph Breaks the Internet. I feel like this might be an easy one for me, but I really want to know what you think about this first matchup between these two movies. You tell me.
I feel like this is a trick question. I'm going to go with Moana. Honestly, I like Ralph 2 better, but I feel like from an objective standpoint, Moana is the better film. Beautifully made. I saw it in 3D, actually, and it was just such an incredible experience. Hard to imagine that it's not a Pixar film because it does get confused for one very often. It's something that I when I first saw it, I said that it's a very special film. It's about a Polynesian princess. And it has, Frozen was like really the one that pioneered the idea that you don't need a man, but this one just really just took that idea one step further and said, it's more about just learning how to come into your own and realizing what you can do with as a woman. And I felt that theme of like female empowerment so hard. Not to talk down Ralph 2 once again. I thought it was really cool that they got to explore the internet. I do feel like there were a lot of missed opportunities there as well. I remember reading like early drafts of the script or like early ideas that they had. They wanted to incorporate Mario, and they obviously couldn't because I think of like copyright issues or whatever. But I would have liked to see that, and I feel like there was so much more potential. But at the end of the day, I think Moana is the stronger film once again. I think that Ralph 2, as great as it is, it does kind of, by the end, feel like just another generic animated sequel. And that's my decision, Moana.
Yeah, Ralph 2, I love the characters of Wreck-It Ralph. I love that whole world. I want more of that world. I hope they make a 3. I can't wait till if they ever do and we see that. And I will be there opening day to go see it. But Ralph Breaks the Internet kind of was a slight disappointment for me. And it's not that it was bad. It was a really good movie, and the animation is so stellar. It's so great. My biggest problem is I just didn't get the feels that I got in the first one that we'll talk about when we eventually get it. It didn't connect with me as emotionally as the first one. So I do knock that down, even though you got some great performances and it's very meta. When they go into the internet, they have a lot of funny jokes, and I love the whole stuff with YouTube and it's not real YouTube, but what they call YouTube, and that whole thing is like, it's really great. I don't know. It's for me, it's Moana. That's why I said for this round at least, this is like a no-brainer for me. Definitely going Moana. So if this is your first time in debate 8, we don't make the decision. You actually make the decision. You guys are going to be the ones who decide who makes it to the next round. So let's start up the poll and get you guys voting. If you want to vote for Moana to move to the next round, all you got to do is exclamation vote 1 in the chat. If you want to do Ralph Breaks the Internet, exclamation vote 8. And make sure you do it exactly like the screen says. There's a space in between the word vote and the number. Dempsey, man, I don't know on this one. I don't necessarily think this is going to be a close one at all, right?
I also, if this is your first time here, you should take the advice of Ralph Breaks the Internet and just don't read the comments at all, because they can get pretty toxic at times. I think the last time I was here, there was like a full-out fight that broke out in the comment section, or the live chat anyway. But no, I think there are a lot of people that are going to agree with us, and I do think that more often than not, Moana is the one that's still remembered. Like, I honestly. Once again, I really enjoyed the movie, but it's kind of very easy to forget that Ralph Breaks the Internet came out. Yeah. I mean, the first, and we'll get to it, but the first one, I can't forget that movie. You're right, Ralph Breaks the Internet. I'm not going to call it generic, and I know you're not really calling it generic either, but it is sort of just like, I don't know. It's almost predictable. It's a little paint by numbers. I hate to say that, but that's sort of how I feel. But it doesn't matter because Moana is absolutely crushing it. Time is done. 94% of the vote going Moana. I feel like this might be Moana's night to lose. We're gonna see. We're gonna see some of these other matchups that are coming, but. Moana is a powerhouse movie that is going to be tough to dethrone, I think. All right, time for our second matchup. We got the number 4 seed Tangled going up against the number 5 seed Meet the Robinsons. I actually think this is a really tough matchup. I think both are very good for very different reasons. But Dempsey, luckily you get to go first. So tell me, where are you going on this one? You going Tangled or you going Meet the Robinsons? So I won't take up too much of the time telling the story, but I actually owe a lot of my professional career to Tangled. I remember I took my my girlfriend, now wife, shout out to my wife, on a date to go see Tangled, and at the end of the movie, I bumped into the manager at the movie theater, and we hit it off. We spoke. We hit it off. I eventually got a job at that movie theater, and then I ended up working at that movie theater and for that movie theater company for like almost a decade. So like literally, like I don't think had I not gone to see this movie, like I think watching this movie literally changed my life, so to speak. So I really do like love this movie for that reason, because every time I watch it, I'm just reminded of like all the good times that it kind of kick-started in my life. At the same time, though, Meet the Robinsons, I think the very first time that I saw this movie, I was not on a low point in my life, but I was a kid, and I was growing up. I was kind of lonely because my sisters were much older than me, so I kind of felt the plight of our main character and how he just always wanted to feel like he felt like he belonged. And when he finally did, he went on like this whole he went down this rabbit hole essentially to kind of find out more about like who he would become and who he was destined to be, and just why certain things happen in his life. So very surprisingly philosophical film, in my opinion. As much as I love Tangled, and I think it's a great movie, spoiler alert, I think Tangled is a much greater film than Frozen. I think I'm going to have to pick Meet the Robinsons just because of how much more I feel like I connected to it ultimately.
Yeah, that's interesting. So for me, Meet the Robinsons, I love this movie. I absolutely love it. I love the whole time travel aspect of it. Spoiler alert, sorry if you haven't seen this movie, but it's like 15 years old at this point. I love the character designs. I just, you know, my wife absolutely loves the whole dinosaur like tiny hands bit that they got going on. It's very creative, incredibly creative movie. Absolutely love it. But you know what? This movie came out in the time period of Disney where like you had this movie, you had Bolt, you had A Christmas Carol, which we are going to talk about later, which was sort of like a, you know, dark period for Disney and their 3D animated movies, and Pixar was crushing it so bad, and Disney was sort of floundering. And then came Tangled, which really was a renaissance for the Disney proper animated studio, and it was such a surprise. The music was great, the animation was incredible, the story was fun, it was funny, it was a love story. It had all four quadrants, I think, in this movie. And I don't know, it was so out of left field, and I think it took people by surprise. It definitely took me by surprise. I'm going Tangled. I think Tangled is the better movie. I love Meet the Robinsons. It's fun. It's quirky. And I love going back and rewatching it. But to me, it's Tangled, and the music's great. Mandy Moore crushes it. I'm sorry, she really does. She does. I
agree.
All right, let's get the poll going. We are split on the panel here. I'm going Tangled. He's going Meet the Robinsons. But where are you guys going? Let's start the poll. I was actually very surprised, Dempsey, that Meet the Robinsons got so much love. I mean, it's the 5th seed. It got a lot of love in the initial pre-voting. So, hey, man, everybody actually digs this movie. If you want to vote for Tangled, vote 4. If you want to vote Meet the Robinsons, vote 5. I don't know which way it's going to go, honestly. The fact that everyone loved or voted it so early in Meet the Robinsons, I think it's got a shot.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that, you know, Meet the Robinsons came out at a time that people forgot about, essentially, because Pixar was flourishing so much. Right. I honestly forgot that it was like a 3D animated Disney movie until I saw it on this list. But once again, when you think about like more recently, like in the past decade, I think 3D animation and Disney have really flourished, non-Pixar movies specifically. Yeah. But I think this is like, the votes don't indicate it, but I think that this is a hidden gem among the rest.
It is. Hey, maybe the votes are going this way because they like Tangled more, or maybe it's just because enough people haven't seen Meet the Robinsons, which I do have to say, look, go watch this movie. I think you'll enjoy it. I think it's a great movie.
Very, very good movie.
It's not better than Tangled. All right, we got 10 seconds left. Meet the Robinsons had a nice pre-show voting, but I don't think they're going to make it tonight. This is going to be the last we're going to see of them. Time is up. 65% of the vote going to Tangled. which is going to cause quite the second round matchup, I think, when we get to it. That's going to be a good one. All right, let's hop back to the bracket. All right, Moana Tangled. We'll get to that one later. All right, it's time for Wreck-It Ralph, the number 3 seed, to go up against the number 6 seed of Frozen. I got a lot to say about this matchup, but you're going to go first on this one. Wreck-It Ralph or Frozen? Which way are you going?
I said it. Well, I kind of hinted at it before, but I personally, this is the part of the live stream where I get canceled, probably. I think Frozen is a terribly overrated movie. I remember seeing it in theaters opening weekend, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, wow, such a great story!" And I was just like, "Eh." And once again, it's a movie that absolutely was not made for me. But I think it does have some redeeming qualities, but I just think when it comes to this matchup specifically, Wreck-It Ralph is better. Once again, I think you also mentioned earlier how much of an emotional juggernaut it is. That scene, I always remember when he's up in the sky and he's like, he's repeating the creed of all the bad guys. He's like, damn it, I hope I say it right. It's like, I'm a bad guy, but I'm not it's okay to be bad because it's not all that good. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like that whole thing. It's such a great scene.
I know.
And it always tugs at my heartstrings when I watch it. I think it had a really good message that, even though basically you cannot judge a book by its cover, and he wanted to be the hero so bad that he almost destroyed his world as a result. And I really like the world building more in Wreck-It Ralph. Not just, obviously Frozen is based on the fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen, but
right.
I really just feel like it's the better movie. I'm gonna say it's the better movie.
Well, you're not alone, my friend. Frozen is terrible. Frozen is absolutely one of the worst movies ever.
We're gonna get canceled.
And here's the thing, though. All right, I love Frozen 2. Okay. Frozen 2 to me is an amazing animated film from top to bottom. The story, the animation, the music is hands over feet. Is that the hands over fist? I don't know, the hands over something better than Frozen. 100%. Okay, I'm very upset that Frozen 2 did not make this bracket tonight. So no, and so much so that look, when my daughter was younger, we watched this movie over and over again. So I'm fully thorough on exactly about this movie. My wife even hates this movie. One time she was forced to watch this, and she on her phone wrote down 100 things of while she was watching it of what is wrong with this movie. She can't stand this movie either. No. Wreck-It Ralph, and I can't wait for Wreck-It Ralph to move on to the next round because we'll probably gush about this more later. One of Disney's best movies, animated movies they've ever done. Flat out. It's one of the most emotional movies, especially the ending, that literally gets me every time. I will talk about it more when it wins over Frozen, because Frozen does not deserve to move on to the next round. It's not good. Olaf is, in this movie, Olaf is one of the most annoying characters I've ever seen. No, I'm sorry. I can't do it. I don't even want to talk about it anymore because it's ridiculous. That you all voted Frozen in. If you want to vote for Wreck-It Ralph, exclamation vote 3. If you want to vote Frozen, exclamation vote 6. Don't worry, if we're getting canceled, we're going down together, my friend. We're taking this ship and we're crashing it into the iceberg together. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Wreck-It Ralph is going to be the clear winner on this one.
I think that honestly, I think Frozen 2 is better than Frozen.
Yes, it is 1,000 times better.
It's so crazy. Like, even when I watched the movie, I felt the smile on my face because I was like, okay, like I didn't have this when I watched the original. But once again, I don't want to once again, the movie was not made for me. There's definitely a definitive audience that movie has, and a group of people that movie was made for. It just wasn't for me.
But see, here's the thing. I feel like Frozen 2 is made for that same audience. I just think it's a better movie, like altogether.
Yeah, and a lot of people say that it feels more like a cash grab. I didn't get that feeling at all.
No, I don't feel that way at all. Especially from the music aspect. The music, like
music's great.
The music, it seems like they just like scrapped everything, started from scratch, and like made real cinematic music. And it's great. Like we actually listen to the soundtrack a lot because for the kids. The kids love it too. Yeah, no, I wish we could go. I wish I could gush more about Frozen 2, but this is probably the last part I'm going to be able to talk about it because Frozen has been eliminated from the competition tonight.
Yikes.
Trounced, one would say. 86% of the vote going to Wreck-It Ralph. I'm really not surprised, but I'm kind of happy about that. I'm very happy. No Frozen. No more Frozen, please. Okay, time for the last matchup of the first round. We got the number 2 seed Zootopia going up against the number 7 seed of A Christmas Carol. This is tough. I personally think this is tough. We got Zootopia, award winning, right? Award winning,
Academy Award winning.
Yeah, a film going up against, to me, A Christmas classic. So. Which way are you going on this one, Dempsey?
Let me just say that the person who introduced CGI to Robert Zemeckis should be killed because ever since he learned about CGI, I feel like all his films have kind of just gone downhill.
No.
And I think that started with A Christmas Carol. It's a good movie, but I mean, it's not that different from that. It's just an animated version of the classic that we all know and love with Jim Carrey playing all the characters, pulling in Eddie Murphy, just to call back, Coming to America and all that good stuff. Zootopia, such a fantastic film. I will never forget. First and foremost, I'm a sucker for detective movies. So the fact that this is an animated detective movie filled with all the red herrings and all that stuff, and it has a lot of really cool callbacks to like 80s movies, 80s detective movies specifically. I really enjoyed it. Going into it, I literally had no idea what it was about because I think the only trailer that was released, or the only trailer I saw anyway, was the one with the slaw, which delivers like the best punchline in the entire movie. But this movie was like a real treat, and so honestly, one of the best animated films of the past decade, in my opinion. And I will say this, and I might be overstepping some boundaries, but if there's one film that I think could take it all tonight, it could be Zootopia. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Zootopia, I think, is the better movie, but I take umbrage here, sir, with your blasphemy about A Christmas Carol. This movie is amazing. It's a staple in my house every single year at Christmas time. It's not Christmas until I watch this movie. I love it. They basically took what was that creepy train movie that Spielberg did?
Polar Express.
Yeah, Polar Express.
No.
They took the creepy animation from that, and they were like, "All right, that movie sucked. Okay, it's like nightmare inducing," and they refined that animation to make this movie, and it really shows because it's so good. The animation is great. The voice acting is amazing. And yeah, it is a retelling of the classic story, but I love that. Christmas Carol is my favorite Christmas story ever. Not just this, but like in general, I watch all versions of it. Like one of my favorite ones is the Patrick Stewart television TV movie version of A Christmas Carol. Like I'll watch it all. I love it. So I personally, I'm biased, I'm predisposed, but as much as I want to gush on Christmas Carol, Zootopia is an amazing movie, which handles some serious social tones and realities that people have to deal with in a easy, digestible way. I absolutely love this movie. I think it's going to move on, so I want to give all my cards away so far yet because I love Christmas Carol. You all should watch this movie as much as you can at Christmas time or whatever, Christmas in July, that works too. But I just don't think it's winning this matchup. If you want to vote Zootopia, do !vote 2 in the chat. If you want A Christmas Carol, !vote 7. Dempsey, I think this is going to be another runaway. It might get Christmas Carol, might get a couple votes. I don't think it's gonna do much though.
I have to say, I think How the Grinch Stole Christmas is the better Christmas Jim Carrey movie.
No way. That movie's so okay. I honestly, I'm not a big fan of that movie. If I'm being honest, that movie's it's creepy. It's super creepy.
Hey, Ron Howard took a lot of liberties, but yeah. I think it's still a good movie. I think it's still a great movie.
It's watched a lot in this house. My wife absolutely loves it. My daughter is obsessed with the Grinch. She loves that. She loves. Okay, here's how crazy my daughter is. She loves the Jim Carrey one. She loves the new animated one, the Benedict Cumberbatch ones.
I didn't like that one.
I like that one. I like that one a lot. But my daughter also liked that really terrible not Matthew Perry, the guy from Glee, that stage production that NBC did that got like
Matthew Morrison,
yeah,
the weird one.
She loved it. She loved it.
That was bizarre.
My daughter's also 5 and doesn't know much, so but yeah, she actually liked that.
That's cool. Once again, made for totally different people. Definitely not made for
Clearly,
me.
It wasn't made for me either. I thought that was god awful as well. All right, time is up. We got 81% of the vote going Zootopia. I knew that was going to happen. Hurts my heart a little, but it all is good in the world. The right movie, I think, made it to the next round. All right, so now we got some very tough. Look, I don't think it's going to get any easier going forward. I think this is basically we're going to get some Sophie choices coming up on this one. All right, the number 1 seed Moana is going to go up against the number 4 seed of Tangled. Man, the two musicals. It's funny how this worked out. We got the 2 musicals going up against each other and the 2 non-musicals going up against each other. So only one singer can survive. So is it going to be Moana or is it going to be Tangled? What do you think?
I think, as much as I love Moana, I do think Tangled is the stronger film. I think you brought up a really excellent point earlier, how Tangled marked like the renaissance of Disney animation. I'll never forget going to see Toy Story 3 in theaters and then seeing the trailer for it. I'm like, oh, that looks really fun. But little did I know that the movie would exceed my expectations. It's such a great modern take on a story that we all kind of grew up with, Rapunzel. And I think the even the name, the title, is a cool like remix title for it, and it's a really cool. I really, you spoke about Mandy Moore earlier, but I don't think Zachary Levi gets as much credit for this film as he should, because he is the male. He's Flynn Rider or Eugene in the film, and he did a lot of the singing too. And this is way before Shazam. I don't know if you guys remember him from Chuck. This is like in between Chuck and Shazam for him. And I don't know, something about this movie that it's just so it's not new. Like, it follows the same formula as all the other Disney fairy tales, but it feels so refreshing for the genre. That's the best way I could put it. And once again, I really enjoyed it. I do think, once again, Moana is a beautiful film, but we're talking about, and I also like the music. What Lin-Manuel Miranda did with that soundtrack is incredible too. But I'm talking about like what I think to be the far superior film. And I think that there's a good argument to be had that without Tangled, Moana might not exist. So I'm going to go with Tangled.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. We talked about how Tangled was basically like the new renaissance for Disney, but Moana could very well be my second favorite animated movie of all time. It's unbelievable. The story of this girl finding her way in life and overcoming all sorts of obstacles. The music is great. The Rock is funny. And honestly, it's what really sells me on this one is the animation. The animation is so crisp. It is so hard to animate water. The water is one of the most difficult things to animate, and they do it flawlessly here. And the water itself is a character. Look, honestly, the next time you watch this movie, this is going to sound stupid, but as like an animation head, I just got to point it out. Watch the hair. Watch the hair when it's wet. watch when it flows. Like it's so difficult to animate that kind of stuff, and they did it so well. I gotta say, Moana for lots of reasons is my pick tonight. I don't know where people are gonna go on this one, but what I do know is that we don't have to make the decision ourselves. We get to let the people decide. Moana versus Tangled. If you want to vote for Moana, exclamation vote 1. If you want Tangled, exclamation vote 4. People say I'm wilding out in the chat here. I
disagree with you. I think Tangled should win, but I feel like Moana might take it. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. I think it might be split. I think it might be close. We're getting a lot of ones early on. It was a number 4 seed or number 1 seed for a reason, and now it's not. Now it's starting to run away here a little bit.
I see all the ones. I see all. My heart slowly breaks. But no, I mean, it's not to say Moana's not a good movie. As once again, it's just objectively what I think.
Right.
But you do bring up a really great point. I think we also I don't know if we had this discussion off camera last time when we spoke about like the Pixar movies.
Yeah.
How you also said how music and like just the fingers and playing music is really hard to animate as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't even think about the water, and you're right, the water, and especially wet hair, all that kind of stuff, because it requires so much detail. And when you bring up the idea of like crisp animation, I also think of like just all the tattoos that Maui has.
Yeah.
Yeah, that very intricate detail. And I don't think that. Well, I do think that they that was something that they had to perfect, and something that is very perfected in Moana.
And honestly, that's the great thing about every Pixar and Disney movie as they keep getting better. You may not love the story, but I guarantee you the animation is 99% better than the one before. You may have not seen Raya. You may think that it was a generic princess movie. That's fine. But the animation in Raya is one of the best so far. Especially some of the fight scenes, unbelievable. What they do is they just take one piece and they like improve on it every single time, and it's so great. I love when they bounce. They're constantly improving, for sure. And that's not to take away from Tangled, man. Tangled got some great animation, but it is not moving on tonight. Moana with 78% of the vote, taking it tonight. Going on. All right, let's go back to the bracket. This one's going to be really hard. This is going to be super hard. The number 3 seed Wreck-It Ralph is going to go up against the number 2 seed Zootopia. Oh, God. I'll go first this time. I'll save it. Going into tonight, I really thought that I would lean Zootopia. I really did. I feel like I want to say Wreck-It Ralph though. I don't know. I'm thinking about the emotional aspect of it, and when the one part where you were talking about where he's jumping off and he's going fist first into the Mentos to make them explode and like save the world, like that's such a heartbreaker. And what really gets me every time though is because of the relationship that Ralph and Vanellope had when they split apart and he's in his world in his arcade game and she's in his, and he gets lifted up. I'm like about to cry right now just thinking about it. When he gets lifted up and he's like looking over her and she's all like giving the thumbs up, like it's so emotional. I literally have goosebumps right now thinking about it. And I don't care. I'm not going to apologize for it. It gets me every single time. The emotional aspect of Wreck-It Ralph, I think, is better than Zootopia, even though Zootopia is such a great movie and it's so smart. The script is so smart and tight. It really is. It's one of the best scripts I think Disney Animation has ever come up with. All the social aspects that it deals with, it's so great, and it really teaches you like again, similar aspects of don't judge a book by its cover, with dealing with like, you know, don't be racist against foxes, which is a whole nother thing. It deals with like the meth dealer, you know, it's like a meth lab in this movie as well, when they're creating the flowers and stuff. I don't know, it's got so much. My brain says Zootopia right now. My gut is saying Wreck-It Ralph, so I think that's where I'm leaning. All right, I've said enough. Now I'm gonna lay it on your feet here. Which way are you going?
Damn, this is really hard. I feel the exact opposite. I feel like my brain thinks that Wreck-It Ralph should progress, but Zootopia is really where my gut's at. Just because of, as you mentioned, it's a really smart story that tackles racism in a very unexpected way. Just like unconscious bias, all that. It's a very straightforward film until it isn't. Where you have all these characters and you think the story's going to go one way, and you think that at one point it's solved, the mystery is solved, but it turns out it goes even further. I think I'm going to stand by Zootopia just because, once again, it is at its core, really modern and gritty, like, detective movie, and it has all the same beats. It has a stellar voice cast. Not to say Wreck-It Ralph doesn't, but whenever I judge films like this, I just think about how I felt when I first saw it. And yeah, Wreck-It Ralph is emotional, and that ending is really gut wrenching when you think Ralph is about to die. But Zootopia is also emotional, but it makes you feel really good and very hopeful about the world and about the possibilities that we can all come together, as different as we all are by the end of it. So I'm going to go with Zootopia, I very hard decision, but that is my choice. Zootopia.
This one's hard, man. I'm not going to be upset whichever one you guys vote through, but we are split on the panel, and we got to get to the poll because I'm very interested to see what you guys have to say. I'm going Wreck-It Ralph. Dempsey is going Zootopia. But at the end of the day, where are you laying your vote? If you want to vote Wreck-It Ralph, vote 3. If you want Zootopia, vote 2. I'll tell you, I think Fanjecture would go Zootopia. She flat out loves this movie. But right off the gate, we are at a dead tie. This thing's gonna be close. It's gonna be super close.
Very close.
I cannot wait to see where this thing lands. Man, this thing's going back and forth right now. Zootopia taking the lead. We got some more votes rolling. I see a lot of twos. I think Zootopia. Oh, now we're back to a tie. We are at a tie again, ladies and gentlemen. All right, 30 seconds left. Got a couple more votes rolling in here. At least he didn't say someone should die for voting Ralph. What does that even mean? This one is hard, says Diana. Yeah, D. This one is super hard. I think we only got 15 seconds left. I think pretty much all the votes have come in. If you haven't voted yet, you got 10 seconds left to do it. Right now, the slimmest of margins. I'm about to put my thumb on the scale. I might. No, I wouldn't do that. Zootopia. 0 time left on the clock. Zootopia with the slightest of the edge. We had a last second vote. Oh man, now we're gonna have to do it again. We're gonna have to run this again because we had a tie. No. All right, let's do it again. That's funny. That's hilarious. Sometimes Streamlabs been doing this lately. If as long as you get it in like right beforehand, it takes a couple seconds. That's what happened last night. Last night we were doing the WandaVision, and the last matchup was episode 8 and episode 9. The clock was like at 1 second, and episode 8 was winning. And then as soon as it hit 0, like an influx of 4 more votes came, and it flipped it to episode 9. It was unbelievable. I don't think that's gonna happen maybe it'll happen for our final tonight. But yeah, Abby says last night was wild. It was. Oh, Lisa says she voted wrong. You can change your vote, Lisa. You can only vote once, but you can change your vote. So no worries on that. If you want to change your mind, you absolutely can change your mind. I feel like I should vote. I feel I haven't voted all night, but I am gonna vote Wreck-It Ralph. Look, we already have more votes than we did last time. I think everybody woke up now. Everyone's like, oh, I gotta get my vote in. The lurkers are back. The lurkers are not lurking anymore. Sketchy Eddie says it's rigged. It's always rigged. Absolutely. All right, we got 10 seconds left. Not close this time. Not close. We got all the lurkers coming in over the top here for Wreck-It Ralph. See a couple more votes coming in for 3. Yeah, okay. So the revote did it. Wreck-It Ralph.
Somebody created an account called Ralph Boner. I just want to.
Oh yeah. It's a thing now. It's a thing now. Everyone is obsessed with WandaVision.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Wow. Okay.
I haven't seen them vote all night, but that's great.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he logged into a second account just to get that extra Wreck-It Ralph vote in, because that's how they do. Wreck-It Ralph moving on to the next round. Wow. Okay. Look, I wasn't.
I'm not mad.
I'm not mad either. I mean, I picked Wreck-It Ralph, so I'm okay with it. Look, I love Zootopia, but hey, we got 2 incredible films to talk about in this final round. Number 1 overall seed Moana going up against the number 3 seed Wreck-It Ralph. All right, Dempsey, your final say here. Which way are you going? This is really tough.
Once again, I do think of the 2, Moana is the weaker. I'm gonna choose Wreck-It Ralph, but I'm gonna use a lot of the same things that you said before about like the animation. I do acknowledge that it is hard to animate water. The animation in general is very hard. Think about all the just the layers and the graphics that have to come together just to make it look as seamless and as realistic as possible. But take that idea and translate it to Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph is kind of an anomaly when it comes to Disney animation, just because all of the characters are each different from each other. It's not like Meet the Robinsons where they're all people, or Cars where they're all cars, even though it's Pixar. Probably a poor example. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that, look, all these characters are made up of, a lot of them come from different worlds. You have, Ryu from Street Fighter that makes an appearance, and a bunch of other characters from all these other video games. I just think about like Jane Lynch's character who comes from like a Call of Duty-esque type game. And then you have, Fix-It Felix, who looks like a ripoff of like Luigi. And you have all these characters kind of coming together. They look different and they coexist in this world. And I have to imagine that it can't have been easy. And then on top of like making all these characters, but having them all come together and look as if they can actually coexist in this world, and make you want to buy into this world that exists. I think the world building, I said this earlier, once again, is incredible. So for that reason, and because I'm a little bit of a geek and I love video games, I'm gonna say Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, we're split again on this one. I'm 100% going. Yeah, I'm going Moana. Like I said, Lion King is my favorite animated movie of all time. Moana, I think, might be my second favorite. It's one of those that no matter when, if I catch it, I will watch it to the end. I think the music is unbelievable in this movie. They are catchy, toe tappers, emotional. How Far I'll Go is one of the greatest Disney princess songs that they've ever created. Lin-Manuel Miranda did an incredible job crafting these songs. The Rock, he made The Rock be able to sing. I mean, come on. This guy will be the first to tell you he's not exactly the best singer in the world, but you almost couldn't tell in this. And the crab song. Oh, I really should have it better on my head, but where they're doing like a David Bowie a flair and a riff on it. It's Shiny is the name of the song. It's so good, and he's mimicking David Bowie. It's great, and the friendship that that's built along the way, and the decision making they have to realize is that, you know, she has to realize who she is and come to grips with the responsibilities she has in this world, and finding who she is, and Maui realizing that he's got to put other people ahead of himself. Some great storylines there. I love Wreck-It Ralph. What an incredible movie. Like I said, I can't watch that movie without tearing up, without crying at the end. But Moana is just, it's so good to me. And I'm going Moana for sure. And I don't feel confident about it, but it's what I'm going with for sure. I don't know, man. This is tough. I don't know. Let's start the poll. I want to see what the people have to say.
I'm eager to see what the people have to say too.
If you want to vote Moana to win this whole thing, you got to do exclamation vote 1 in the chat. If you want Wreck-It Ralph to be your winner, exclamation vote 3. Let me know. Make those votes. We got a lot of ones coming in, but a lot of people rooting on Ralph. So I think it's an early lead here for Moana with a minute left to go. But yeah, I was just literally about to say, I don't think that lead's going to be that wide for that long. I see a lot of 3s coming in late here. Wreck-It Ralph could pull the upset. I don't know. 45 seconds left to go. People are getting their votes in. Streamlabs is doing its best to tally all these votes. Let's see what it has to say. 30 seconds left on the clock. Yeah, do it for Boner. Yeah, do it for Ralph, the other Ralph.
Somebody definitely voted 5.
Oh no.
I was like, what is going on? I see a lot of people saying rigged.
Yeah,
this isn't rigged. I mean, the only people that can rig it are you.
That's the common meme of the show. Every week, people love to say it's rigged. It's great. As soon as the channel gets monetized and I can do some emojis on it, I'm definitely making a rigged emoji, because it's great. I love when people say rigged out there. It's so much fun. 0 time left on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner for tonight with 64% of the vote, Moana is your winner. Man, Dempsey, Moana's our winner tonight. Are you happy with the result?
I can't be mad. It's what the people wanted. Once again, I never said that it's not a good film.
Yeah.
Frozen is not a good film. Okay.
Yes,
Moana's a really good film, but I felt against the films that it was put up against, I felt like some of those were better.
Right.
Or that it was weaker than the films it was put up against. But it's still, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I think it's a beautiful film. It has a beautiful message and beautiful music. So I'm just gonna say, if you guys enjoyed it, I can only support your decision.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. Love this movie. Hey guys, go watch all of these movies except for Frozen on this list. Go back, go watch Meet the Robinsons. Go watch all these movies again. They're really good. All right, Dempsey. Next week on Debate 8, we are going to be doing Christopher Nolan films. So I'm going to spring on you. What's a Christopher Nolan? Do you have a single Nolan film? It doesn't have to be like your favorite, but like anyone that come off top of your head that you enjoy. The Batman's, Inception, Prestige. What's a Nolan film that you like?
Inception changed my life. Honestly, fun fact, Inception's the film I've seen the most. I've seen it like 12 or 13 times now in my entire life. Wow. And every time I watch it, I catch something new. Like it's a film that I think is both like truly, when you talk about film as like an art form, it is like an art. It's a work of art, in my opinion.
Yeah, my head hurts every time I watch it, but it's great. It's like a good hurt. But yes, I agree, man. Inception's great. It's going to be a tough one to beat next week for sure. Dempsey, guys, let me put it in the chat. I think exclamation guest is Dempsey's Twitter. Dempsey, writer for Diz Insider. He knows his Disney stuff. Tell the people what you got going on, where they can find you, where they can read your articles on Diz Insider. Tell them all about it.
I got a link on. You can click on in my bio till I write for the Diz Insider. I do reviews for crprights.com. I also have a YouTube channel, Pilot Productions. You can also find that on my Twitter as well. I think I pinned my latest video, and I got a couple of other things in the work. And yeah, I just love movies, and I try to talk about it in articles and in videos as often as I can. So
excellent.
Thank you for having me so much.
Oh, 100%. Can't wait to have you back on for sure. And we'll talk some more movies. Guys, let me get some hearts in the chat, please, for Dempsey. Thank you. Thank you, my man. Thank you for popping on.
Always a pleasure.
See you soon. All right. That's it. That's this week. Moana is your winner tonight. Big thank you to Dempsey for coming on. I appreciate all of you here coming, hanging out, voting. What a night. Again, we are back next week here doing, what did I just say? Christopher Nolan movies. And then don't forget on Tuesday on the Den of Nerds Live, Debate 8, we'll be back there at 9 p.m. We don't know what we're doing yet. It's still up in the air, but stay tuned. Follow on the Discord. Go vote for those Western movies. It's up right now. You have till Friday afternoon to get your vote in. It's a lot of good movies on that list. So thank you, fam, for hanging out, voting, doing the Debate 8 thing tonight. And I hope you have a great evening. I'll talk to you all on Discord. All right.